Good morning. Today is a new day. I had a really good weekend this past week. I ended up going to Six Flags. It was a super last minute trip, but yesterday we were there pretty much all day. We got there at noon up until like 8 p.m. That's when they closed, and had a really good time. And so I'm ready to start the week. This week I have client follow-ups. I met with a new client on Saturday who is looking to purchase in Indiana, and our MLS in Indiana got hacked into last week, so we haven't been able to access the entire site. So we can't access listings, post any listings, schedule showings. Now we have to call the agent to schedule showings, so it's a little bit more of a difficult process to schedule showings. But I'm gonna go through my requests for showings this week and get those booked. Today I also have my mammogram appointment today, so I try to get that every single year. My mom had breast cancer when I was younger, so I've been getting those since I turned 30. So I'm gonna get that done today. I'm gonna try to edit some videos, but for the most part today is going to be a chill day because this time is usually slower. I'm gonna take some time in the next couple of weeks to work on a new newsletter. So I'm gonna start working on a weekly newsletter so I can send to my clients, and so I have that started already, but I'm gonna continue working on that and yeah, see where this day goes. But it's going to be a pretty busy week. Also, I should mention, so I own a couple of properties, and one of them I got a call from my tenant this past weekend, and she said that she heard a really loud noise in the bathroom, and she went inside and the ceiling came off. And I just thought it was so weird. I just got that bathroom renovated maybe like 4 years ago, so I sent it to my GC, and he thinks there's a water leak and it probably soaked into the drywall, causing the drywall to fall. It wasn't the entire ceiling that fell, but yeah, I have to go fix that. Can you see that? If not, I'll probably put it up. So yeah, she sent me a message with this image letting me know that part of her ceiling in her bathroom fell. She's also on the first floor of the building, so I don't know if we had a leak from the second floor and the water soaked into the drywall, causing the ceiling to fall. And this is just a part of the duties of being a housing provider / landlord, is that, you know, you're gonna get calls from your tenants when things go wrong, and you have to pivot really quickly and get it resolved. I usually tell my tenants to give me 24 to 48 hours to get someone out there to get it fixed, and thankfully my tenants in this building are very, very patient, and they give me a lot of grace. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get that fixed this week. So I came out today to West Chicago, which is a suburb on the northwest side of Chicago. So we came out here to check out this home. It's a really rainy day today, but I came out here to check out this home with my client. It's a very big home, and yeah, hopefully this house was super big. It was 3 levels. It had 2,500 square feet. The only downside was that it was across the street from a graveyard. My client didn't mind, and he was interested in making an offer. So I just got out of showings. I went to show one of my clients a building in the north side. He wants to make an offer, and actually we were supposed to make an offer on another building last week, but he ended up getting cold feet, so we never made the offer. So I'm gonna go back home, run some comparables. It's been on the market for around 3 months, so I'm hoping we can negotiate the price. And then I got
2 clear to closes this week, which I'm so happy about because I had issues with them. One of them was where the property came in significantly below value. We tried contesting it and we gave them some additional comparables last week, but they rejected the comparables, so it came back with no change in value. Thankfully, the seller was willing to come down in price, and then my client was able to fill in some of the appraisal gap. He came in around $15,000 above the appraisal amount, which is totally fine because there's comparables out there to justify a higher purchase price. So my client filled in the appraisal gap. The seller came in at a lower price point. We were all able to agree on a price, so hopefully we'll be closing on that deal next week. And then I had another issue with an I-10 buyer. So I-10 buyers, usually the loan doesn't go directly to the bank, it goes through an investor. So the investor wanted a second appraisal. We had the first appraisal done and it appraised at value, but they wanted a second appraisal. I don't know why, but that's what they wanted. So we got the second appraisal done this week. It came back at value, so we're good to go. And hopefully we'll be closing on that one next week as well. So hopefully next week I'll have 2 closings. And then tomorrow I have some additional showings with another client that I have. This client I picked up like a month ago, so I'll be showing her properties tomorrow. But this new client that I have, I've only shown her 1 other property. So tomorrow we'll go check out another, I think 3 homes. Yeah, we'll see if we can make some more offers, get some offers accepted. Crossing my fingers. So I just came out of showings. I was supposed to show 2 homes. I showed 1. Within a minute, my client knew that she didn't want the home. And I just picked this client up like a month ago. And so she's kind of new to the home buying process. She's not really familiar with things to look out for. So I was showing her, you know, how I check for property taxes in the area. So we're in Cook County in Chicago. That's the county that we live in. So I showed her how to check taxes because sometimes the property taxes have exemptions. And so I showed her how to check for exemptions. I also showed her, you know, how I typically do some research on the area. She wasn't really familiar with the area, so I showed her things that I usually do if I'm not familiar with the area. So I showed her Google Maps and, you know, how I take a look at the street view before going to visit the property if you're not familiar with the area. You have to check on there like what date they took photos, because for example, the house that we looked up, it was a 16-year-old image and so it wasn't really up to date, but it just gave you a general idea of how the neighborhood looks. We were supposed to see another house and we were actually on our way. I was driving to go to the next property and she called me 10 minutes within driving and she's like, Judith, you know, I'm taking a look at how far this house is and I actually don't want it and I can see myself already being in traffic for a long period of time. She's like, this is just a no-go. So I ended up coming back home, which is good. I told her, you know what you want, and I actually really like clients like that. You already know what you want, you know how far away you want to be from your job, so that makes my job a lot easier in terms of guiding you. I ended up coming back home instead. Now I'm just going to run some errands. Yesterday was supposed to be my laundry day and I ended up not doing my laundry because I had showings. I try not to schedule showings on Friday, but yesterday I had to show a house to one of my clients, so I didn't end up doing the things that I needed to do. So I'm trying to catch up today. I've been wanting to work on a newsletter for my client. I want to go home and just do like an hour of updating the emails that I want to send to my clients. I want to make it 3 months out, so it's just, I don't know how many weeks is that, 4 weeks times 3, so 12 emails that I want to devise and schedule to send out every single week. So that has been something on my to-do list of things that I want to do. Actually I went on a play date today too with my daughter, and I was talking to my daughter's mom, and she's a teacher, and she was like, yeah, you know, like I usually work and I come out and I can't check out. And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's kind of how my job is. Like I never really check out of my job. I'm always working. Even if it's just like me doing like an hour of work a day, that is my job. It's just, I work all the time, but it doesn't always feel like work because I do really love what I do. But you know, yeah, you know, it's a lot of thinking, planning ahead. It's really hard to be a realtor and not schedule your time in advance without feeling overwhelmed. If I don't plan my days, my weeks ahead, I think I would get very overwhelmed. So I try to take things day by day, and things don't always go as planned. But if I don't do it that day that I had it planned, I'll do it the next day. At least I try to be pretty good about that. So I'm gonna go home, work on my newsletter, and then do some laundry, and yeah, see where things go. Okay, so I just got home and I started going through my newsletter. I'm actually using ChatGPT to help me write out my newsletter, and then I am using this other website just to make sure that my stuff doesn't go into spam. Sometimes when you do use AI technology, your stuff can go into spam. So there's another website called Undetectable AI, and I'm using that to just make sure that my stuff, my information is humanized. So I'm slowly but surely going through everything. I still have to set up my template in KB Core, but I just went through, I think, 3 months of emails, and once I get that done, then I will set up my template and then hopefully assign this to my virtual assistant to send out every single week. I'm super thankful that we do have ChatGPT because it is super helpful. Honestly, I am not the best writer, so I am super happy that we have, you know, systems and technology now that can help us do that, and it's so easy to do. Hopefully I'll get this set up by the weekend is my goal, but we'll see what happens. And then I'll go on to the next task, whatever that is. I'm not too sure yet.